So like I had mentioned, on either side here is where some of the artists' work is going to be featured. Tuesday afternoon, and well, as you can see, skies are a lot clearer, and it's been blowing gusty, but moreover, it looks like another graduation ceremony. Young fresh minds. Good luck. Hey folks, how you doing? Welcome back. It's Charlie. And if this is your first time, then welcome. You're in for some kind of a ride. It is June 17th, 2024. It's almost 5 o'clock, and it is a pleasant 75 degrees. I didn't go to Universal. I was too tired. I was really tired. Try to go. We go to work. We work here tomorrow, and probably Wednesday. Probably do Wednesday. It is a little bit, just a little bit, kind of cool. The wind's been blowing, and as you can see, the skies are a lot clearer. A lot clearer. That's because of the overnight blowing of the winds. Managed to vanquish most of the stuff. It's a little bit still, as I'm sniffing the street dogs. It's a little, you can kind of, if you can you see kind of behind me? See a little bit of the haziness that's still remnants of the fires and stuff like that. It's been really getting kind of nuts. And as one spark occurs with this wind, it just carries any kind of ember and stuff like that. So yeah, firefighters and residents that are being affected tirelessly trying to figure out if there's any kind of a name for the school, but it's just now starting to pick up. So, and everybody's getting their street dogs, getting their flowers and their leis and stuff like that. Good day to be business. You know, I wasn't really gonna do anything. I'm just catching up here, and saw this happening, so I might as well flip the camera on. It's pretty cool. It's shit. Damn, that kid he's a drama queen. There's even the vendors already left. That's so cool. Pretty excited for them. Even some of the vendors have already left. The ladies that were cooking the yummy smelling delicious street dogs are gone. Actually, the people with the leis, they just moved across closer. And you can see more flowers over there.
Police say the victim may have been attempting to break into vehicles. That's what we know so far. Take a look. During this investigation, LAPD officers say a stabbing death led to all of this. Witnesses told police they saw a pool of blood near the fraternity area. When officers arrived, they found a homeless man in his 30s with fatal stab wounds. They say it happened in an alleyway around 8:15 Monday night at the 700 block of West 28th Street. Police believe the stabbing victim got into an argument with another man before the violence broke out. It started when the man in his 20s allegedly saw the homeless man trying to break into cars. That's still in question. And that's when he pulled out a knife and stabbed the victim multiple times. He has since been detained for questioning. We heard from police. Let's take a listen.
There was some type of altercation between the witness and the person that was breaking into a vehicle, and we're trying to determine what the circumstances of that altercation were. You know, how this escalated from a vehicle burglary to
that sucks.
Skybox is overhead.
That's over here.
Speeds of more than 130 miles per hour. Narrowly missing cars. The driver got off the freeway, led police to a surface street. He stopped his vehicle, surrendered in a parking lot near Peach Place and DeLacy Avenue. That in Pasadena.
A second police pursued passengers in a stolen vehicle.
Oh, the girls.
Started on surface streets, then onto the southbound 5 freeway. At one point, the driver stopped and a passenger took over the wheel. The chase ended a short time later when the driver got off the freeway at the Soto Street exit in Boyle Heights. The suspects ditched the car, ran into the neighborhood near Fresno and Garnet Streets. The search continues for the driver and passengers at this hour.
Look at those kids. They're kids.
Gorman in
Yeah.
LA County. The fire, which started Saturday, has burned more than 15,000 acres. Cal Fire says it's 20% contained right now. Firefighters say winds could push the flames further south to Castaic or perhaps...
And it's going to be very windy this morning. Today, that is.
Firefighters say there may...
There it is. I was expecting that. There is the power washing for the artists this weekend. The chalk artists. Hey. Is that a... What is that? Just say no to drugs. Hey folks, how you doing? Welcome back. It's Charlie. It is a Wednesday morning. What time is it? 20 after 8. 20 after 8. Yeah, 20 after 8. June 18th, 2024. Oh, it's like 61 degrees right now, and it is really sucked in, which is good. It's good. It's good. A little bit of drizzle. As you can feel it. This is good because this helps firefighters gain control and gain momentum and pushing the fire back and everything. So, but we are supposed to get really hot today, and the winds are going to kick up again and probably pretty much blow a lot of this away. So, and we are going to be very, very hot this weekend. So, I won't know, I think, until Saturday or Sunday what my schedule ahead is going to be at Universal. So, I'm kind of, I don't know, I was kind of thinking of maybe telling work to put off Sunday. I might ask for Sunday off just in case I'm scheduled for that immediate Sunday morning. Who knows? They're starting to put barricades, I think. They're still cleaning. And then I think they'll probably start doing this side. It's about 10:30. And it's 64 degrees. It's warming up really good. This will burn off quickly. So I just saw that Eric Adams has banned mask wearing, like in general public. I believe it's because of all the Palestinian protests and everything else. That would probably, maybe Los Angeles and Bass would do the same here. Well, also especially because of all the riots and the protesting and, you know, the scuttles that we've had. That's been a really fucked up thing on our campuses here. On all our campuses and schools and shit like that. And everywhere else in the city, you know, all you see is black wearing hoodie, face mask wearing young people going in, and oh man, there was one that they they rushed a jewelry store, I think, and there was like a onslaught of 20 young people, hard to identify, and they just came busting in, and the poor shopkeeper he just had nothing to do but, you know, crouch down on the ground and try to cover himself. And you see one or two people trying to yank his cell phone away from him, so he wouldn't try to make a call. So that also kind of leads me to believe that they're expecting riots. Expect riots, if not in New York, definitely in one of the major cities. I say the major cities always, a big metropolitan area is always going to be 100% going to be more likely to riot than, say, some little town in Kansas or Missouri or something like that. No. It's always going to be here. So in Los Angeles, and I've always said, you know, things, unless you're like you have to be a local to be able to understand that there has been a great tension, especially with all the onslaught of violence that we've had in the public, pedestrians, people getting hurt, the homeless, you know, and whenever I see a new homeless person, like I am just seeing right now, you get this uneasy sense, especially when it comes to males. They have this really dark look about their eyes and everything else, and they're always just scanning and looking to be ready to duke it out for some reason or another, and I can't understand that. I mean, a normal person wouldn't be like that. No, normal times things were a lot more subtle. You know, life was a lot more subtle. Now you have to be on your guard all the time, wherever you go, especially public transportation here in Los Angeles. Oh, come on, people, really? Jesus Christ. See what I mean about being dangerous to walk across the street? Oh, the new summer welcome sign and colors. All are welcome. Hey, and if you got EBT, you can get EBT at Jamba Juice, loaded with sugar, which I believe is supposed to be a healthy option. Yeah, I would say that I don't want to go to Ralph's or Vaughn's or something, a supermarket. Yes, what used to be the everyday and evening closing and opening.
Smiling to another tasteless day. The lucky gets to choose a shade of grey. Summer never sets foot in this town. Who clamps his clothes on you and drags you down. And I know life with me is not always light. Been drinking, screwing, itching for a fight. Your mama warned you against the guys like me. She married one of them on spree. You can tell her, you can tell her, you can't tell her, you can't tell her. Forever now you stay for me, forever now you stay for you, girl. Forever now you stay for me, I stay 100 years. Every time you cry for me, for every time you cry for me, girl, for every time you cry for me, I cry 1,000 tears. The morning you fell away and left behind a letter with your name. The day fixed one straight down the train. We were just kids that sailed away. And I wonder soul is colder down the south. But I willing to come rescue her from hell. Your words made my heart bleed. I'm always here for you in times of need. And you can't tell me, oh you can't tell me, girl. You can't tell me, oh you can't tell me. Forever now you stay for me, forever now you stay for you, girl. Forever now you stay for me, I stay 100 years. For every time you cry for me, for every time you cry for me, girl. For every time you cry for me, I cry 1,000 tears. No, I never loved another. Nobody ever meant a thing to me. Those people for me are just clever.
This ice cream shop, when they open, they should do well. Hopefully soon. That used to be the former 21 Choice ice cream shop. Very small footprint, but man. They used to have lines that wrapped around the corner, down to the left, and it was great. But now the location that they're on, Union and Fair Oaks, they're not as busy. Which actually brings me to the reason of ice cream. Because the Salt and Straw across the street, when I was coming home from Universal on the bus, both times, both evenings, they were packed. They were packed inside the shop, and they had a line coming out just to the entrance of that building, the center entrance, which I was shocked, because it threw me back to 21 Choices over here. And looking back, you gotta wonder, was that the smart move to do and have your own big corner? I hope that it gets hot enough to the point that you guys do better than what you were doing down in Old Town. Lucid, they opened up the showroom. It's kind of cool. I just got an update on the email, just news sources. I realized Neutrogena, which is I think one of the big companies here in California, they're bailing. They're leaving California, so that's gonna put a lot more people out of a job, It's just going to be more taxes spread out over a lot less population. Higher taxes, trying to make up for the loss. The charging or the taxation of, I think, a kilowatt hour or something like that. Something to cars that have electric conveyances or whatever. I mean, just to make up because there's no more, or there's a lot less gas tax. So stupid. Oh man, all the wild things are just getting crazier and crazier in California. Yeah, I know. Come out to Tennessee. Come out here. Come out. No, I know. Hey, if I could, trust me. I know it's a pipe dream, and I know that a lot of folks will say, well, it's like I invest my money in lottery. No, I don't. Only when I have like a couple of dollars. I'll probably, if I can afford to, at the end of like my weekly budget, and if I still have like a couple of dollars that I can spare until passing over the weekend, and getting till the start of another week to be able to budget myself again, cash wise, then yeah, and it's not much. It's like $25 at most. And that's just in case if I have to reload on my tap card, because I hate reloading my tap card, my bus pass on my debit card. So that's why I carry cash as much as possible, just to limit the use of using my debit card, because one day I could not be paying attention and boom, I'll slide a fucking skimming device and I screwed myself. So yeah, no, I try to limit my use. That's why if I have to, everything's pretty much, I don't carry cash as much as I used to. Well, I used to carry a lot of cash because I was homeless. You ever see the movie The End? It's turned into a GIMP. This is the 3D version.
We don't get.
We're just waiting on corporate for this place to open up. This section at least. I have to do a remodel. Yeah, I don't be messing with my chicken tenders now. Got some holy Toledo, Ohio. Yo, dude, we are. What time is it? It's only 8:12. Dang. We got it all cordoned off. Hey, what's going on with the elevator? What the Yo, the elevator's off. I ain't stepping in that bitch.
I should say, was a USC student living in this frat house with friends when he claims it was self-defense as a homeless man allegedly was breaking into cars in the back alleyway. Now, we are learning more about him and his family. In fact, this is his Instagram page. Let's take a listen. Well, a little short clip there saying I'm from Boyle Heights, East LA. Now, in this Instagram video, Ivan Gallegos, a 19-year-old USC student, is now in police custody behind bars under suspicion of murder. According to detectives, Gallegos and two friends reportedly witnessed a 27-year-old homeless man burglarizing their cars on Greek Road. That was just Monday night. Allegedly, he confronted him with a knife and stabbed the man repeatedly. And then that man unfortunately died at the scene. Police say Gallegos claimed self-defense, and the homeless man allegedly also said he had a gun at the time. USC students say this has sent a shockwave through Greek Row. Many have said there is more break-ins in this area during summer vacation and safety issues.
When a lot of this stuff occurs, I think, repetitively, then you have students who want to be a lot more proactive.
Gallegos has no prior criminal record and remained at the scene cooperating with authorities. His two friends were not arrested and were told they were living at the Delta Tau Delta frat house in this area, which was also a crime scene within the past 24 hours. Those 3 students once again lived here. Now, as you see on this page, this is the GoFundMe page, which was set up just yesterday from the family, and they say they need justice for Gallegos. This morning, we know that there's a $2 million bail that's set for that 19-year-old. As of right now, his mother has been contacted. However, she has had no comment during this whole situation. Now back out here live. Once again, we wonder if there is surveillance video in this area. We know that there are public safety officials that have been on every block. That surveillance video may be very telling this morning as to exactly how that became so explosive. We'll have much more on this coming up in the next hour. Reporting live here at USC, Gene Kang, KTLA 5 News.
In a clown world that is California, where criminals, homeless people that cause harm, death, and damage to property get away, get arrested if they get caught, and immediately get away. But a citizen who takes something into their own hands because harm is probably done, life-threatening possibly, you don't know, always gets arrested. Whether it be California, New York, decent people trying to uphold the law versus the criminals. This is a clown world when the innocent and the victims get arrested.
Deputies from the South LA station were flagged down by several people letting them know about a man who had been stabbed over at the intersection of 111th Street and Larch Avenue right next to the 105 freeway. When deputies got to that location, they found the victim suffering from a stab wound in the upper torso. He was taken to a hospital, but he died on the way there. Now, investigators have not
Road rage.
exactly led to that deadly stabbing or a possible motive for the altercation, but witnesses say it started as an argument between 2 drivers. They say the victim's gray SUV was rear-ended by the suspect, and a fight broke out. That's when the victim was stabbed by the suspect, who fled the scene. The victim, they say, got back into his car and drove away to Hawthorne Boulevard and Imperial Highway, where he stopped and called 911. Investigators don't have any information on the suspect, but they're hoping that witness statements and video from surveillance cameras in the area will have them track down that suspect. They know that there were a lot of people in this area when this is all unfolded. If you're one of them, the LA County Sheriff's Department wants to hear from you. I'll send it back to you, Chris and Megan.
Newly released body cam video shows police ordering 31-year-old Shaylin Smith to drop a knife inside a pharmacy back on May 18th. Smith was allegedly harassing and threatening customers inside the store before police arrived. Despite orders to drop the weapon, Smith raised the knife toward officers, prompting them to fire a beanbag round that struck him in the abdomen. He was disarmed and arrested for attempted robbery. The incident is now under investigation
To live and die in LA.
Appropriate for the situation. Miles per hour on the eastbound 10 freeway at Pacific Avenue in the Baldwin Park area. It happened about 1:30 this morning. The suspect went as fast as 140 miles per hour.
Damn.
On freeways. He ran over a spike strip.
Monrovia, that's just next door.
Just before the 605. His tires went flat and he was taken into custody.
All right. I'm just thinking out there. So here's what it looks like. So now, your thoughts, really. I mean, I'm just really reaching, I guess. But do you remember how all this was a cutout, basically, for buses and the loading zone and stuff like that? Proper, right? We used to usually have that in a lot of cities and stuff like that. But then when Biden took office, they were all about green space and all this and whatnot. And little by little, things were being reclaimed, kind of like over there, where they did that thing over by the gas station. So, my thought, what do you think? Do you work in city officials and stuff like this, or how would you see this? Possibly cities that are applying for green funding, they probably reclaimed all of this to get back for pedestrians in a green way, and probably got funded thousands of dollars, maybe enough to certainly pay for all of this and as a lot of things are, the only reason that maybe it would probably be green because they planted one tree. A lot of situations, a lot of properties, especially with some fucked up HOAs, they kind of do that. Oh, but you got to do all this. The Bureau of Land Management, I think up in the Tahoe area, I think part of their thing is that if you're going to buy a land, if you're a big developer or whatever, you have to buy an equal parcel of the amount of land or whatever it is that you're buying and give it to the BLM for their purposes and their use of, I don't know, in the name of nature or reclamation. But that was up there in Tahoe and stuff, and this was many, many years ago. Whether that still exists or that still exists with many BLMs across the nation, I have no idea. But I don't know. What do you think? Just a closing thought. There's the banners. I'm tired. He got slammed last night. Finally, after The Incredibles 2, Disney has a hit. And it's a cute movie. I haven't seen all of it, but go see it. The Chalk Festival, sponsored by Blick. Blick is our local art store here in Pasadena on South Raymond. Not exactly sure what the temperature is, but it got bright all of a sudden, and it's going to be quite warm. Whew, boy, did it get bright. Wow. So like I had mentioned, on either side here is where some of the artists' work is going to be featured. This is the back of the conference center that you see from Green Street on the other side. Pretty nice in there. It's a good design. And this is the ice skating center. I remember I had mentioned this building when they were renovating the whole center. When they were adding the conference center and the exhibition halls over there, This was only going to be a temporary building to house such events. But as I had mentioned, they spent so many millions of dollars on this facility here that, well, then they just decided to keep it, because they were, when my wife was still working here, she had mentioned that they were talking about getting rid of it, and I was like, wow, all that money spent just to throw away. But all in all, they did the right financial thing, as they kept it. In the beginning, when they were starting to reutilize it, they were hosting, I think they still do every now and then, I'm not sure, fencing clubs here in that big auditorium. It's really cool. A lot of youth fencing programs practice there, and some of the Olympic hopefuls, young Olympic hopefuls, go there and hold their tournaments and stuff like that. It's pretty amazing to see these kids involved in such a beautiful sport. Now, granted, the amount of space that they have to work here for art is, I don't know, I think it's maybe less, roughly, compared to the Paseo, because there's so many levels. You know, the upper level over there, the first landing, going up to the second level, all right here on the back part of their sidewalks. On the other side, and down a ways, and over in between Starbucks and the bank now. So it was so crowded that it was difficult to navigate a stroller in between. People were literally like walking over the chalk lines and being careful. But they also do have all this back here. This seems to be about the same amount of space that was allowed. Yeah, 2 more. Some very cool little hidden art. There's inside the center. Look at those lighting fixtures. That ceiling. The artist's entrance. Yeah,